Hello and welcome to another edition of the Carter Hour. Today I bring you something very special. Something that you guys have been casually introduced to, but not formally. This is my 2006 Mercury Grand Marquis. This car is an Ultimate Edition, and it is a very special Ultimate Edition. Well, first of all, I have, since you guys have last seen it, I have added Mustang GT wheels. These are, I believe they're 235/55 R18s sitting on 2015 Mustang GT rims. And the car handles a heck of a lot better. And what makes this Ultimate special from any other Ultimate Edition that I was able to find was simple, many things. First of all, it had rear air suspension, which in fact still works to this day. It had the audiophile amp and sub in the back of the trunk, and it also has heated seats. In 2008, Ford started marketing these cars, the LS versions of these cars, as Ultimate Editions. But simply, it was just a badge on the side, as you see down here. That did not make it a true Ultimate Edition. What made it a true Ultimate Edition was that it had steering wheel controls, not just to cruise, but the temperature control for the auto climate control and your stereo controls. Also, in various models, it had heated seats, which this one happens to have heated seats. And on various models, you would have the Alpine, or I believe they called it, they went away from the Alpine because Alpine was no longer making the radio for these units past 2004. So what they did is they went and just called it the audiophile CD6, which meant it gave you a 6-disc CD changer in the dash and gave you a subwoofer in the trunk. I've done a lot of different changes to this vehicle, including replacing all the speakers and upgrading the stereo system, as we will see when we take our little ride. I have done a lot of things to this car, including, your maintenance items, your fluid changes, things like that. But what really gets me excited about this car is that it's an Ultimate Edition. And as you can see, I have the 4.6 liter V8 2-valve engine in the vehicle, and it is quite clean for the vehicle's age and mileage. That's how I knew when I bought this car that it was quite well taken care of. I've enjoyed it, even though I've only put 3,300 miles on it. I knew that this would be an enjoyable car. Now, as you can see, we have the Ultimate Edition. Inside the Ultimate Edition, you will find a full set of buttons. You have your cruise control all the way up here. Well, if the steering wheel was straightened out. And then you have your stereo controls here and your automatic temperature control here. Standard automatic headlamps, or auto lamp, and your dimming control. Your pedals, so you can either and your traction control if you want to turn it off. It does have tilt steering, and it does have the stereo, as you guys have seen, from my Impala, 2012 Impala that I had before. It does have automatic climate control with the air conditioning, and that does work. It has a passenger side airbag, a driver's side airbag, And it actually has side impact airbags, which was an option on these vehicles. So here's the front view of the 2006 Mercury Grand Marquis. And as you can see over here, the heated seats, you can either turn them on low or turn them on high. And this is the power apparatus. This is an 8-way power seat. And you'll find those same controls over on the passenger side. Let's go to the back door. You can find the same controls as you would find in any other Mercury Grand Marquis in 2006. A power window and a handle and a door lock. These have been the standard since 1979. Sort of roomy back seat, but not really. As you guys can see, it has tan leather interior, but it isn't bad for how clean it is. Even though the person that I bought it from, or the dealership I bought it from, but the person that traded it in did smoke in the vehicle. So there are multiple cigarette burns in the carpet, but that doesn't make it drive any less enjoyable. And as you can see, we'll come back and show you the trunk, which, as you can see, is holding quite a bit of my stuff right now, as I had to pick up a few things. And the Grand Marquis makes it the best to pick up things in because you have a spacious trunk. And I even have a full-size spare, which was very rare to come with unless you got a convenience package. But I believe that was part of the Ultimate Editions package. Now, as you can see down here, this is the Ultimate Edition. This is the audiophile subwoofer. It's got an amp right underneath here, and it powers an 8-inch woofer speaker. Also, this is a very rare option on a Mercury Grand Marquis, but not so rare on the town car, is your air suspension. And then your fuel shutoff pump right here. So, to come around and show you the other side, this is the passenger side door. And as we get into it here, these seats are in very good condition, and I'm very proud to say that this car is an absolute great condition, except for the fact that it is a pure Michigan car, and you're going to have defects like this. If I can go, oh, there we go. Going to have defects like this and defects like that, but that's surface rust, and this car will be stored away during the winter time, so I'll have some more time to address that. And as you can see right in here, this is the passenger side looking in. And this is a very clean car. I mean, I was very happy. Everything works on it. There's nothing that doesn't work on it. And let's get a picture over here of the Ultimate Edition with the 2015 Mustang GT rims. I think those tires and rims look really good on that car. This is my very special 2006 Ultimate Edition. That is kind of like your amateur review. I know a lot about these cars, but just getting it out there and getting this whole thing set up was kind of interesting, because we're doing 2 camera aspects on this. And so why don't we close the hood and go for a drive? So why don't you join me in taking a test drive in the 2006 Mercury Grand Marquis. It's been a very pleasurable drive today in this car. I haven't driven it in a while. So, it had to be something affordable. It had to be something that I could have worked on. And I had an opportunity come up where, tilt this up a little bit more. Don't do this while you're driving, by the way. Shame on me. So basically, I had an opportunity to buy a 2002 Lincoln Continental. Now, if anybody knows about Lincoln Continentals, there are a lot of maintenance, a lot of work, a lot of things that could go wrong, that could cost you a fortune. And I knew that buying this Grand Marquis or a Crown Victoria equivalent would be very inexpensive to have to go and purchase parts and do the replacement. And so I decided that I'll take a chance on this Mercury. I took it for a test drive, drove well, it started up, it didn't hesitate. And it's been a great car. So I just started making improvements on it. Like I said, I replaced the navigation, I replaced the factory stereo with the navigation, fixed the auto climate control unit per the instructions in my last video on repairing the EATC when it doesn't blow out of the vents. I also had to replace the bulbs because it was not displaying up at night, so sometimes you couldn't find the button because it was just absolutely dark. So I mean, I didn't know what button I was pushing to select what mode I wanted to select on whatever I wanted to choose on the IVAC system. So sorry guys, I'm just a little tired today. I wanted to present this car to you guys in a very cleanly fashion, which I keep my cars really clean. So I'm kind of spacing out a bit, but so I've done. I replaced the rear differential fluid, and I also had to do axle shaft seals. So if anybody's familiar with axle shaft seals, at 169,000 miles they were worn out, and they were the originals. So lucky for me, I got them out, but they were pretty rusted in. I mean, I couldn't believe the fact that they had been so, one side was good. One side, the side that was leaking was pretty, leaking pretty good, so it kept it pretty lubricated and didn't rust up. The other side, it wasn't leaking, but I decided to change it anyways, and that was kind of tough to get out. So I replaced that. That was, I was doing that while I was doing the rear brakes. I'd already done the front brakes. Then I went back and I did the calipers all the way around the vehicle, and then finally got that back on the road. Then I decided to do the radio with the upgraded amp, so it's got an Alpine stereo system in it. However you slice it or dice it, it's got the power pack, and it's got Pioneer speakers that have a real low frequency tone. And so anyways, as we progressed through this, I decided that I needed to do the tie rods in the front, so I did the tie rods in the front. I did the transmission fluid first. I had it flushed. They flushed it with the wrong stuff, and that really irritated me to the point. You take it to a Ford dealership and they did everything wrong there. Everything. I took it to a GM dealership and they fixed the Ford dealership's problems. So now with the car, I still got a few things I got to do on it, but other than that, it handles like a dream. It drives like it should. Transmission's pretty close to being shifting where it should, and it's just an enjoyable car. Like today, we're just on some side roads here, and you know, it's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable ride. So, you know, a lot of people ask me, why do I like this car? It's a classic. I mean, it goes back to me being a kid when my dad bought a brand new 1985 Grand Marquis. I was just 4 at the time, and I remember getting in front of the front seat there and just listening to the. My dad was quite older, so he's from the '60s, and listening to Mamas and the Papas and Love and Spoonful, and you know, just riding in such a comfortable car. It was so big. When I was a little kid, the car just seemed like a land yacht. And a 1988 Mercury Grand Marquis happened to be my first car, and it was great. It was a boxy, like I was telling you guys earlier. It was a great car. And then I had a '91, and then a 2003, which I enjoyed very much. The car was actually mint. I bought it with 10,000 miles on the original. Never been driven in the wintertime until I bought it. And I wish I could have kept that car off the road in the wintertime. Just at that point in time in my life, I just couldn't do that. So, you know, I do a lot of ums in my videos, so I'll try to scrape those out. But yeah, the car, I've had done a lot of work to it. I put about $1,000 into it, which upped the cost, but it was worth it. It got me away from having to, you know, it gave me a hobby, I guess, is what I would call it. Let's see if this guy's pulling around. So, I enjoy the car very much. The Mustang rims are great. I wanted to show you guys that. So, I guess we're just driving along here and enjoying the scenery. It's getting ready to be fall here soon. And this car will be put away on October 31st. Stored in the garage. Drive it until probably April. So I was glad that I was able to show you my car. I'm not that great at scripting videos. I'm just being me, you know. So there might be some cuts and edits and things like that. It's not that I don't want you guys to see it, it's just that I'm not very good at this stuff. I do enjoy taking it for a drive. I'm going to turn back around. This is the 2006 Mercury Grand Marquis. You guys get to take a daytime drive, passenger side view type of deal. I don't know what else to say other than showing you the car. So I guess I'll just get some footage in here, and you guys can take a look at that. So.